My good buddies, the Vanguard, wrong again, speaking about things they don't quite understand. Um, Crypto is not a scam, but there are a lot of scams associated with crypto. The real problem with crypto, and it's not really a problem if you understand what you're dealing with, and that's the problem. A lot of people don't really understand what they're dealing with. Um, the big problem with crypto is its extreme levels of volatility. It is very, very volatile and therefore very, very risky. However, that is not something that is particularly unique to cryptocurrency. It's not something that you'd say, well, that's why you should invest in crypto. No. Standard investment principle. More risk, more reward, less risk, less reward. That's just how it works, right? In order to get maximum returns, you have to take on maximum risk. Whether it's with stocks, whether it's with bonds, whether it's with art, whatever it is, that's just the fundamental principle. It goes along with the principle of buy low, sell high, right? When everybody's selling, you buy, right? And when everybody's buying, you sell, as far as the stock market goes. But again, the problem with crypto is not crypto itself as much as it is the investors who don't know what they're doing, and also the just immense amount of scam artists that take advantage of the situation. You have something that a lot of people don't fully understand. You have a lot of cases where people have made a lot of money, so that's like sort of the bait. This is going to be red meat for scam artists, right? Take advantage of people. What's it? Fear of FOMO, fear of missing out, right? Take advantage of people's fear of missing out. Point out how all these crypto millionaires, whatever, you could do it too, right? And then they come up with all these like fake coins and pump and dump schemes with celebrities. So there's a lot of scam, but what they're missing is the scamming is not the instrument itself. It's not cryptocurrency. It is the cryptocurrency shillers, right? So I don't really watch Jimmy Dore's video, but odds are whatever he's shilling on his channel regarding crypto, probably scam related or scam adjacent. I don't know, but that is how much scam surrounds cryptocurrency, that it's a good bet if someone's online promoting it. Good bet, probably bad investment. There's probably some scam involved. But again, that has nothing to do with the cryptocurrency. It has to do with the people who take advantage of this FOMO, where people, everybody, so many people that just suckers for a quick buck. Oh, just put a little bit of money in and buy this stuff and this. That's the scam, right? These YouTubers, these crypto YouTubers, crypto influencers, celebrities hawking this new coin, got this coin and that coin, right? I've done much investing in my life, and nothing compares to crypto in terms of return. I've made the most money from crypto repeatedly. I've also taken a lot of losses with crypto, but that comes more from the insanity of my life. There's a lot of stuff going on. It's a highly volatile thing to invest in. So you got to know what you're doing, right? And that's that. There it is, the rub, right? So you've got these experts out there who really know what they're doing. They're gonna tell you you just got to pay $9.99, right? That's where the scams come in, right? You really got to know what you're doing, and you don't want to learn how to do things from these many scam artists, which, in my opinion, overwhelming majority of people who would come to you and say they're going to show you how to make money in crypto, probably scam artists or people that just don't know what they're talking about, that are just trying to take advantage of you, sell you something, or just want to get your eyeballs for views on YouTube. But if you step outside of that, if you're someone like myself that can educate yourself, and you can take on responsibility of managing a high risk, thing like crypto, you can make a lot of money, and easily. Just to give you a case in point, when I bought my house 8 months ago, I liquidated a lot of my crypto to help with the down payment. I think I probably looked at my account once or twice since then. So in 8 months, I've looked at my account once or twice. I'm up $200. Didn't even do anything. I just held my position. I'm up $200. And I only have a small position, right? To make $200 with a stock would require so much money, because you'd have to be able to buy so many shares, right? Because each share of the stock is just a single multiplier, right? If I have 2 shares of something, it goes up by $1, right? I can only multiply that increase by 2. I have 2 shares, right? So both shares went up $1. 1 and 1 is 2. So I made $2, right? If I get 10 shares of something, it goes up by $1, make $10. 1,000 shares, just $1 increase, and I make $1,000, right? But the problem is, to get even 50 shares of a lot of stocks is a ton of money people don't have, right? So you have to have so much money to make money in stocks, right? You get a lot of options. So you can pick something that's more low risk, moderate risk, high risk. A lot of options depending on your comfort level. You can diversify your portfolio, invest in different sectors. There's ways to make that work, right? But ultimately, it's going to be very difficult to get high returns in stocks. Now, obviously, I said high risk, high return. So there are high risk stocks you can make returns. I don't know necessarily that there's a lot that has the volatility of crypto, and high volatility is good if you want to maximize return. But again, that comes with risk, right? And you got to think about, like I said, this is a fundamental principle. So one of the ways that I can make a lot of money, right, maximum return, is for me to go all in, investing in some new kind of business, and I'm before everybody else. So before anybody's even talking about this thing, I go all in, hardcore, and create this business and push and promote it, right? That is maximum risk, because for all I know, this thing will never catch on. It'll never be a thing, right? Because I'm leaning forward. I'm stepping out there in front of everybody else. I'm putting all my, eggs in one basket. And again, it may never be a thing. So I could lose everything. Because if it's never a thing, I may not even ever make a single sale, right? But if it does work out, maximum return, because I'm the first, right? Maybe it starts to catch on, and then a big company sees that this is a booming new business, right? And they buy me out. All of a sudden, I'm a millionaire overnight, right? Maximum risk, maximum return. But that also means maximum responsibility. If you're going to make a high risk investment, then you need to take accountability and accept what that means: losing all your money, right? So people who went and sold their homes and put all their money from the home into crypto, if you're very young, where you can weather that kind of a loss, you can start over, fine. But somebody late 30s, in the 40s, doing something like that, that's nuts. Doing that is pushing you in the direction of potentially maximum return. You're taking on a big risk. You're investing in a highly volatile thing, and you're doing it in a very, very risky way. Selling your home, so now you're able to get a large sum of money that you wouldn't otherwise be able to get, right? So risk upon risk. If that works out for you, because it's a large sum of money which you got from this big risk thing of selling your home, and because you're investing in this high risk thing, right? That means if it goes your way, it's going to go your way big time. But again, it's an inverse thing where if it doesn't go your way, right, that also will be most likely a very big hit. So what's the fundamental principle? Don't invest more than you're willing to lose, right? If you don't invest more than you're willing to lose, big deal if you lose, right? If you have $1,000 sitting around and you could afford for that $1,000 to just disappear, go for it, right? Go do your thing. Make your investment, start a business, get some crypto, right? Time it right, do your research, look at the history. But the big problem comes from, again, a lot of scammers promoting it, right? Influencers, pump and dump stuff, fake coins. Like, I don't invest in anything except Bitcoin and Ethereum. That's it. Not interested in all these new, this Dogecoin, house coin, gold coin, digital gold coin, whatever it is, right? Not interested. I did play around with Doge. That's the only weird, funky cartoon cryptocurrency, and I made the smallest investment there. That was just me just having fun. That was my casino gambling. With crypto, generally speaking, my experience has been you buy in, you make your biggest moves when things are awful. When the market is crashing and everyone's running away, everyone's crying and screaming, jump in, scoop stuff up. But you've got to look at where it is relative to, so I always look at previous crashes. What does it look like? How far does it go down? What does the crash look like? What does the recovery look like? How long does it take to recover? And basically history, in many times, is a good predictor of the future, right? So I based on past performance, future performance. But another big problem, again, like I mentioned before, is lack of knowledge. People not understanding how to invest. And it's not specific to crypto. People do the same thing with stocks, right? So people will see that Bitcoin is rising rapidly. Everybody's talking about Bitcoin. Oh, it's booming. It's gonna go to whatever, and they jump in on the hype wagon. But a skilled investor knows that that's a dangerous time, right? You want to get in early. Now, someone may ask, how can you get in early in crypto when it's been around for so long? It has waves, right? It peaks, drastically, right, and then it crashes drastically. Many times when it crashes, it doesn't go down to where it was before, right? So let's say it was here, right, and it peaks up to here, then it crashes down to here. So it's still higher than where it started, right? And then it could go up and down, volatile. People are depressed. People are like, oh, this is a scam. This sucks, right? Watching Vanguard videos, right? And then there's a surge that happens again, right? And it peaks higher than the last time, potentially, not necessarily. And then it does a similar crash. Maybe this crash is higher than the last crash. Could be lower, right? But the general thing is, generally speaking, if you're buying in the middle of a really big crash, that's my particular strategy, right? And you're willing to hold on to it long enough and relax and not be emotional and stop listening to these YouTubers that are trying to get clicks, right? Stop watching all these like crypto experts and you sit on it long enough, you can, no brainer, multiply your money significantly. Really difficult to do that with stocks or any other investment. So for me, crypto's been a no-brainer. This is for example. My first thought of investing in crypto was around 2016, 2017, when I was actually in the business for a short time. I was not like selling crypto, or we didn't have a crypto. The business that I was in was a service. Let's just say for larger crypto investors, we provided a service to help them to invest safely. Basically, we were doing what was called a custodian, right? So you have one large crypto investor, another, it's more institutional, wants to invest with another one, right? But we don't know each other, right? And there's a lot of risk with crypto, right? So when I make my transaction, how do I know I'm going to get, what I paid for, right? So basically what we were doing is we were essentially being a bank. So we would hold the funds. We are the common denominator. Our customers trust us, right? So therefore you can invest with strangers, right? Because you have a relationship with us, your money is with us, right? So when you make a transaction, it's really simple. All we're doing is we're holding the funds. So when someone makes a transaction, we lock up those funds. So basically you don't have the option of screwing whoever it is you're trading with, right? Because we verify the funds are there and we lock them up. So you won't have access to it. So in terms of you delivering whatever you're supposed to deliver, you will deliver because we're basically forcing you to. 1 second. All right, totally lost my thought process. That was probably a good 30-40 minute gap of time that's missing. I paused the video. My boss was bugging me about something. Some high-level executive was bothering us about something. I had to respond to that, do a little quick investigation, respond. And then neighbor stopped by, and I was talking to him for a bit, catching up. I haven't seen him in a while. Anyway, I think it's just a bit. I think I got most of my points out. I was just ending it, just saying, again, the scam is not the instrument. It's more the shillers are the scam artists, and the people who are teaching you the secret way to make money. Like that's the scam. As far as, I guess I didn't comment on this part as well. I would have to talk about the exposure of the infrastructure itself to scammers. So I mainly talked about scammers on the outside, right? People who are like shilling it and shilling other services that are adjacent to it. But obviously, the infrastructure itself, or not necessarily obviously, but the infrastructure itself is also susceptible to scam. Like the Vanguard did bring up a good potential point. They talked about, a bunch of billionaires getting together and manipulating it because they have enough money to control the market by having a majority share of crypto. However, I don't really see the relevance. What would be the point of them manipulating it to make money for themselves? Okay, I mean that's wrong. That should be illegal. It's certainly unethical. But in terms of your argument of crypto being a scam, that doesn't really support the argument, right? Because you're not making a statement of a fact, saying that somebody for a fact is doing this. You're just saying it has the potential for that to happen. So that's not a justification that it's a scam. That's a comment regarding its vulnerability to scammers. Once again, it's not crypto itself. It's all these external factors. You could say the same about many other things. cash, right? If we're going to use something like cash, which is paper, there's going to be people who will counterfeit the paper, right? And then you can end up with fake money, right? Credit cards. If you're going to use credit cards, there's going to be people who have the ability to like clone your cards and use your credit card. Identity theft, open up accounts in your, you know what I mean? Like, this is not unique to crypto in terms of it being infiltrated by scammers and thieves and being manipulated. Now, if you want to point out that it's more susceptible because it's not regulated and it's kind of out there, that's an argument that can be made. I think you need to dive a little bit deeper in terms of how susceptible it is to manipulation versus other things. You can't just assume, because it's unrelated. There's other factors to consider, right? You got to look at the whole picture in terms of probability of people, what's required to manipulate it, what would be the outcome of like manipulating the market in a way that the Vanguard suggested, versus doing the same thing with credit cards, with cash, or just about anything that you can think of that can be sort of exploited by people, right? There's a lot of mechanisms involved in crypto to prevent these kinds of things, a lot of security mechanisms. So just like with other forms of investments or currencies, what do you want to call them, it's a balancing act between the fact that it can be exploited and manipulated versus how likely it is to be manipulated. And that's going to be balanced with how easy it is to manipulate it or not. Now, if you want to make a specific argument that crypto is particularly easy to manipulate in that manner, that it's easy to do whatever there, then we can make that case. But you can't just generally say, because it's not regulated, like, it's susceptible to people doing all this kind of stuff, as if that's unique to crypto. It's not unique to crypto, right? So to finalize my perspective, most people should not be investing in crypto, just like they should not be investing in any high-risk investments, because, again, high risk means you have a good potential of losing a lot of money, right? But if you follow one of the fundamental principles of investing and never invest more than you're willing to lose, that kind of defeats that risk for the most part, because if you're not investing more than you're willing to lose, then losing is not that big of a deal anymore, right? So the question is, how many people have enough disposable income to make, worthwhile gains on crypto? And I would say a decent amount, because it's so volatile, so it doesn't take much to make a lot, right? I mean, you invest, it's so volatile, you can invest $100 and end up with $500, right? Not so much now, that's more so in the past, obviously, but the multiplication factor is very high, especially if you can get in when it's a really brutal crash. So the price is really, really low, and you're patient enough to wait it out until it comes back, right? Crypto crashes is nothing new, right? You have a major, goes up big time, goes down big time, goes up big time, goes down big time, right? Those who buy whenever it crashes, over time, averaging out, doing very well. But that's a small group of people, because most people are emotional. So you buy and things are looking good, and then you start hearing people say it's going down, and then you sell, and you keep playing around, and then the average out over time, all that playing around ends up being not in your favor. But like I said, I bought my position from 8 months ago. I looked at it once or twice. I made like $400 on, I don't know, a few $1,000s, not even a big position. Anyway, those are my thoughts on that. Crypto's not a scam, but certainly a lot of scams very closely adjacent to crypto. And crypto is not for many people. Many people don't have the maturity and discipline to invest wisely with it. Greed is a big problem, right? So it's a lot of external factors. Human nature, greed, lack of knowledge and understanding, and then a lot of noise coming from dishonest actors. That leads to the formula of a lot of people losing their shirts. But is it the fault of the crypto, or is it the fault of people who don't know what they're doing, listening to scam artists, and then the actual product itself getting blamed for people losing their money? I guess one final point. People make associations with gambling. That's fair. You could make such an association, but I'll tell you what. If I had $2,000 and I had a choice between going around and going to casinos versus buying crypto every time. Crypto every time. The likelihood of me going into a casino and winning big, right, with $2,000, $3,000, very unlikely. Very unlikely. Unless you're some kind of a card reader or something like that. Very unlikely. The system's rigged against you. The odds are just very, very low. It's not in your favor. But with crypto, on the other hand, again, simply buying during major crashes and holding it long enough is an easy way to make a big return. But most people don't have the discipline to do that. Most people will wait until it's booming, and now it's the time to jump in. And they jumped in too late, and right after they jump in, it crashes again or something, and then they want to blame the instrument. No, that was you. All right, that was 100% you. Those are my thoughts. Baby channel, the baby comment section below. Click the like button, subscribe, smash that bell. Be well. Not a scam.